I have shot 1,000 rounds through this blaster and it has held up really, really well. But as you notice, there is nowhere to load the dart. The real issue this blaster has is definitely the trigger. Hello everyone, Brachiosaurus227 here, back to you with a brand new video. The Dart Zone Solo released back in the fall of 2023, and it might be one of my favorite blasters of all time. It's essentially a Jolt, but better in every single way. Ergonomics, customizability, performance, you can literally do anything with this blaster, and it's a really nice package, especially for $15, but it is still somewhat of a steep price, and the biggest drawback the Solo has is that it's not available, in stores. You have to order it online. So I was kind of hoping that Dart Zone would make a cheaper version of the Solo that they could have on store shelves, and they literally did. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dart Zone Adventure Force Cricket Pro, and yeah, for only $7, it has a lot to offer. But is it a better option than the Solo? Let's find out. Included is the blaster itself and 4 AF Pro Ember darts. Now this blaster is designed to be put in a pocket or something, to be folded up. So it does come kind of folded up and condensed together. It's a little confusing to use because it's a little bit different than the Solo. It's not just a straightforward breaking barrel system. It has a little bit of uniqueness to it. So of course, first you want to deploy the main barrel, but as you notice, there is nowhere to load the dart. The Solo has a very obvious place to load the dart, but the Cricket does it a little differently. Once you fold the barrel, there's actually a secondary button you push right on top of here, and that is what folds the barrel down and breaks the main barrel in half, which is really cool, and of course it reveals where you load your dart. So once your blaster is fully deployed, you just want to operate it by hitting the top right here. Then you want to load your dart into the barrel right here. I wouldn't recommend loading a half dart from the front because the barrel's not as tight in the front as it is in the back, so it's better to load a half dart through the back like this. Then you just want to flip up your little priming handle, pull down. It's a little bit of hefty prime, but not too bad. Then you pull the trigger to fire the dart, and you actually get a pretty good performance. With half darts, you get about 120, 130 FPS, which is about the same as the Solo, although some reports say that this actually fires a little bit harder than the Solo. I cannot confirm that, I don't have a chronograph, but yeah, it definitely hits very hard, that's for sure. The real issue this blaster has is definitely the trigger. And the way it's situated, if you hold the blaster like this, you're going to end up pinching your fingers in the trigger, and it hurts really bad. Now you do get used to it after a while, but the best way to use this blaster I found is holding it like this, or if you want to put your finger in the big hole right here, you can totally do that. And that lines up your fingers just perfectly on the triggers to where they won't get pinched. That's what I personally do. Speaking of the giant hole here, it's definitely an odd choice, and I definitely think it's designed for your finger to go in there because, you can spin it, which is the one thing you couldn't do with the Solo. But also it allows a lot of stability and accuracy control with your blaster. Like, it gives you a better hold, I think, and it makes your hand more level with the barrel. Also, why is my hair sticking on the side like that? I don't know why it does that. I look like one of the founding fathers. But besides the hole being something you can put your finger in, I do like how it kind of centers around the whole barrel flipping. That's really nice. And it does kind of add the feature of having it where the barrel is a little more spaced out from the grip, which is nice. Because as you can see with the Solo, the barrel is not spaced from the grip, so the barrel kind of rests on your hands, and it makes it a little bit awkward to load. It's not that bad. It's definitely not a con. It's just one little thing, one minor annoyance that some people may have noticed. And Dart Zone fixed that with this new design. I actually really like how the barrel does not, go against your fingers. It feels really good. Now, this blaster is not Star Barrel compatible. Duh, it doesn't really need one. It also doesn't have a metal barrel, and for $7, yeah, that makes sense. Again, I don't think this blaster in particular needs one. It's not like the Torrent where it has a mag system and stuff like that. You don't need a metal barrel for a Jolt-style blaster. That doesn't make any sense. It's cool that the Solo has it, but you don't need it. The grip itself is actually kind of bigger than the Solo's grip, and I think I like it more than the Solo's grip. If it wasn't for the trigger, this would definitely be a way more ergonomic blaster compared to the Solo. I also like the overall design. It definitely takes very similar inspiration from the Max Striker 2.0 as far as colors go. And since someone is going to ask, yes, you can shotgun it, just put 2 darts into the barrel, half darts preferably, and then prime it and fire, and you get a nice little shotgun burst, which is cool. And like I said, it can very much take full lengths. And if you want, unlike the half dart, you actually can load the full lengths in the front and get good performance. So far, I've not had a single jam or malfunction with this blaster, but let's take it out to the range and show you how it does. We're going to be firing with 3 different dart types. We're going to start with Adventure Force half darts, aka Ember darts. Then we'll move on to Nitro Shot Plus half darts. And then for the full lengths, we'll be using 4 X-Shot Insanity darts to get kind of an idea of how far it shoots with full length darts. So let's get started. Now we're going to be firing with the Nitro Shot Plus darts. Now we're going to be firing with full length darts. We'll load for the front this time. We got an Insanity dart right here, and then another Insanity dart, and they land at about 50 feet. We got a Nitro Shot Plus dart at 67 feet. This is the lowest half dart. Another Nitro Shot at exactly 74 feet, and then right here at 75 we have another Insanity dart, with the next Insanity dart being at about 78 feet. We got an Ember and a Nitro Shot dart at 81 feet, another Ember and another Nitro Shot at 83.
Yo guys, it's a jumping spider on my tripod. Hey bud, how you doing?
So what do I think of the Dart Zone Adventure Force Cricket? This is a really good blaster and a really, really good option for beginners. I totally agree with Welcome when he says that this might be one of the best blasters for beginner nerfers. I have shot 1,000 rounds through this blaster and it's held up really, really well. It's definitely worth its money for sure. It has a lot to offer. Not as much mod potential as the Solo probably, but it still has a lot to offer, and I think it is a very good pickup. Personally, I think I still prefer the Solo. You do have a little bit of extra stuff that you do end up paying for. The metal barrel is a cool feature, and also I feel like the Solo is a better fidget toy, while the Cricket is more centered around practicality with its setup. But if you're trying to decide which one to get, I would probably say go for the Cricket if you're a little bit more on a budget. But if you really do want a Solo, go ahead and get one. It does have some perks, and if you're going to mod one of these, I would still recommend the Solo over the Cricket. But the Cricket is an amazing blaster regardless. It really doesn't have any issues besides the trigger. I think it's made really, really well. So with that being said, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Normally I would give it a full-on 10 out of 10. If they fix that trigger, I think that's the rating it would have. But besides that, I think this blaster is literally perfect. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Dart Zone Adventure Force Cricket Pro. Very short review, a very small blaster, so that figures. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
My junk drawer, my junk drawer. So many things, I don't know what they're for, but I won't let it go. No, I will add more useless little things to my junk drawer.